Hey, Kyle Becker here. Just want to go over chapter one a little bit with you, the fear of change. The first component of that is just increasing your awareness of fear and how it's been manifesting in your life and influencing your life. Understanding that most fear is psychological fear or imagined fear. So if there's not a direct impending threat to your survival, a lion, tiger, a bear, a cliff to fall off, whatever it is, if you're feeling fear, it is a psychological fear and it's a choice that you can make either to continue to feel that fear or feel something different. Um, the exercise in there is really, really important. So basically, you're going to isolate a couple of instances in your life where you have walked through psychological fear, whether that's giving the speech, whether that's asking for the raise, whether that's deciding to, go back to school or change your job, whatever that fear is that you had within you. If there wasn't a lion, tiger, or bear, that was a psychological fear that you felt. And in this exercise, you're going to reassociate. So it's association and dissociation. You're going to associate with that moment. So you're going to relive it as much as you can. You're going to go back to that moment when you're feeling that fear. You're going to see what you saw. Okay. You're going to hear what you heard. You're going to feel what you feel both physically, but also emotionally. Just re-immerse yourself as much as you can into that moment. Okay. And once you're in that moment, I want you to ask yourself the questions there in chapter one and take your time with those questions. Okay. It's very important for you to settle into this memory and become aware of it and then practice reassociating and just describing these memories to yourself. The main thing about this, though, is you had a psychological fear and nothing bad happened, right? And I want you to start to recognize those things, that false evidence is not always real in your life. Now, there's the association and dissociation technique in this that's equally important. So that's basically you've reassociated with that memory and you've described to yourself how you're experiencing that, see, hear, feel. Now what I want you to do is dissociate. So what you're going to do is you're going to see yourself as a neutral party, somebody sitting across the room, a fly on a wall. What do they see in this instance? They see you, this person, let's say standing on a stage, and they're giving a speech and they seem to be a little nervous, but they're doing okay. And actually in the end, it turned out really well. So pick some type of neutral point of view in that moment and view yourself through that. Now, if you have a hard time doing that, and Appendix A is great on this. There's some great exercises in Appendix A. But what I like to do is use a template. So for me, what I started doing is imagine a photograph of myself. And that would pull up a photograph of myself. And then I would imagine that on like my favorite TV. Okay, now I'm looking at a photograph of myself doing this on a TV, and then I fill in the blanks for the area. So really take your time with that, though. If it's somebody that you know in that instance, bring in everything you know about them. Everything you know about everything they've gone through in life, what they know, what they think, what they believe, and really see yourself through the eyes of somebody else. And then once you're done with all that, I want you to reassociate into that memory. So get back up there on stage, for instance, and I want you to see what's changed. What's changed for you in this moment? What I want you to realize is you didn't die. You did what you were afraid of, and you didn't die, and everything worked out okay. And just understand that moving forward, that when I decide I want to change something in my life and I feel that fear, I feel that resistance, I'm going to recognize that and say, okay, that is fear. That's false evidence appearing real. I don't have to agree with it. Let's take a look at this thing objectively, and let's find a way to pursue that dream and make that change in my life. So, really important with these exercises to take your time, slow down, especially in the beginning. You're not going to be as good at bringing up a visual image of yourself and imagining, where do I see that in my field of vision? You're not going to be as good as at isolating the direction that sounds are coming at you in your memories, and you're not going to be as good at naming the feelings. Okay, this is all a skill that you're going to practice. So take your time. Okay, just reading this book, if you do no exercises in this book, there's going to be some transformation. There's going to be some growth. But if you really, really, really want to maximize this book, look at it like a workbook. Go through it, practice these exercises, and the transformation, the great transformation is going to come in those moments when you're sitting down, you're imagining a moment in your life where you were afraid and you were courageous and you walked through that and you didn't die. The lions, tigers, and bears didn't jump out and get you. It worked out okay. False evidence was false. It was not real. I just imagined it. And that's what this first chapter is about. Just becoming aware of fear, okay, in your life, and then also beginning to practice the NLP techniques of modalities, submodalities, and an association and dissociation. Again, if you want to refer to Appendix A, there's some great, great exercises in there for you to practice that. I do a modality warm up and a submodality warm up, okay, so you can kind of get used to those and practice those. And then I walk you through an environment creation, which is really cool. Um, it's a great meditation too. You could record this and then walk yourself through it. Really, really great. Now, actually, probably going to do something like that here pretty soon. But fear of change, become aware, and look forward to talking to you in chapter 2. Thanks.